Hey, it's Soul with another video. This time we're taking a more targeted look at what we know about profession updates in Dragonflight. If you don't mind, if you could like the video and subscribe for more content. So we're going to look at screenshots, we're going to glance at a recent interview, and then we're going to demonstrate our understanding of these profession updates so far. We're going to speculate a little bit and ask questions, all in an effort to get some discussion going. I'm going to get this one out of the way first. Archaeology will not be updated for Dragonflight, at least for launch, which sort of tells me it's dead for Dragonflight 2. It's just my impression, but I'm pretty sure. Personally, I am a fan of archaeology in concept, just not in practice. I would like to see it updated, but if the team couldn't come up with something really cool to reintroduce it to players, I can't say I'd be super thrilled to run more dig sites for rares and toys, because rares and toys can be obtained in so many other ways these days. In a few bullet points, here's what's up with professions. Work orders are going to be added to the game, allowing players to make requests for crafted items, and then eligible crafters can choose to fulfill said order if the offered commission is decent. New profession equipment will manage a player's ability to make gear or other crafted items better. Think higher item level or better potency, maybe an increased number of items crafted, depending on what it is. There's a specialization system that'll let you be a better crafter. You can make a better thing than the average crafter. And then there's some screenshots and some other stuff that we'll start picking apart very shortly. An interview with Eden Hazakostas and Hazel from Hazelnutted Games revealed more information. I'll summarize, but I also invite you to have a listen to the whole thing. I'll provide links somewhere. While not finalized, it seems that with regards to gear, the direction they want to go is to allow the crafting of very high-end gear, as in mythic quality maybe. They did say that there'd be limitations to that. I speculate there's going to be maybe an equip limit, similar to World of Dragonflight crafted pieces. Ian was clear that they don't intend to have a scenario where a whale can just walk in and buy a complete set of mythic gear. For crafters, working your way towards being able to make these, mythic crafted pieces will work in a similar fashion to perhaps Wrath of the Lich King, for those who remember this. Like each day, we completed dailies to obtain some sort of side currency that we could spend on additional recipes. Now, this seems related to the idea of specializations, so I'm guessing when you choose one, you'll earn these specialization points, and these can be found by talking to someone, maybe completing quests, finding things, who knows. Whatever the case, this will let players create a sort of identity as the crafter who can make a certain thing, because they're specializing for this, they're putting points into that, meanwhile someone else is specializing into this and pointing to something else. I think that being able to target work orders to a specific person or a guild has some great benefits, and it helps to create a relationship between the client and the crafter. Crafting itself appears to have certain stats to them now. Items are going to have a difficulty, you're going to have a crafting skill, and this is adjusted by what we see as resourcefulness and inspiration points. This seems to borrow a bit from Final Fantasy XIV's crafting system that requires an entire crafting gear set. Notice that the reagents are identified by a rank, and there's a checkbox over here to, use the best quality reagents. This might mean that even gathered reagents are going to have a quality to them as well. Now check out this rough screenshot over here. It looks like you can choose different reagent ranks, and it's a safe guess that it'll affect the final result. Crafting in Dragonflight won't have the minigame feel of Final Fantasy XIV though. There are no new buttons, and there doesn't seem to be a failure rate. Looking at these numbers, with a crafting skill of 292 and a difficulty of 325, on top of the quality of the reagents used, this quality bar, takes us close to the rank 5. And I say it's a rank 5 because, according to this item, it's given a quality of 4 out of 5. The icons here match, and the next rank is a 5-sided shape, so ideally we want to raise our rank as high as possible and then use gear and the right reagents to get us to that 5-star rating. We can safely presume that people will want to make and buy a rank 5 or 5-star or however you want to label it, but without a reference we don't know what the item level is between a rank 1 and a rank 5, or the differences in the case of feasts or potions or other consumables. Gear made for crafting will be equipped on special crafting slots, maybe think New World but including armor, and your character character will automatically switch to the transmog of this gear, at least outwardly. Think Final Fantasy XIV, but without having to press a button or to change your level or stats. It was announced that there would be crafting tables, although I'm not too sure what the point of those really are. But the inclusion of an auction house in the new Dragonflight player hub means that they want players here specifically to make the best crafts. I'm just thinking that maybe these crafting tables will let players craft anything here, so I guess we don't have to go all the way back to the Black Anvil, or that one anvil somewhere in High Mountain, or the Thunder Forge. Maybe it's something like that. Whatever the case though, I'm sure that the new hub will be the place to be to fulfill work orders, which looks just like the auction house from the screenshot here. Instead of the price to buy a thing, it's the commission amount for you to make a thing. Meaning that a lot of the time we as crafters might just be camping the auction house or this work order thing to pick off easy work orders. Ideally the ones where the buyer already has all the materials ready. Not everything can be put into a work order. Note the screenshot here and the current auction house UI, there's no section for consumables, glyphs, or trade goods. On the screen here, the buyer can optionally throw in some or all of the materials needed for a craft. They can make it public, or they can target someone specifically. They then make a commission offer, a duration, and then off it goes to the work order UI. I do have a few questions though, like will players be able to set up a work order for any crafted thing in the game? There are literally tens of thousands of possibilities if there are no restrictions. Imagine all the requests for old transmog, felsteel longblades, or sky golems, and old gems and enchants for the mage tower. This can get a little bit crazy, maybe too crazy. It's possible that there could be limitations to what can be put into a work order. Next, we gotta ask ourselves, how often can we as crafters fulfill these work orders? Outside of this feature, we can spam trade and make stuff for people as long as there are people on and present. But with work orders, what sort of player behavior would work orders encourage? I can imagine really hardcore crafters camping this work order UI, quick to snipe up easy commissions which might piss off others who have the passion to craft but lack the time. Can or should there be a limit to how many one could complete in a day? Or should there be a cooldown between fulfilling work orders this way? I'm not sure, but I think that's worth discussing. And also, what about add-ons? How advantageous or damaging might they be? How's that going to play into work orders? Let's pretend that we're looking at a few work orders and the buyers have no materials. They're just offering a boatload of gold to whoever can make it, and it's up to us as crafters to pony up the materials. Now with some work, I bet add-ons will be able to, at a glance, look up the auction house for available materials, whatever materials you have on stock, and then spit out the amount of profit that you'll gain or lose by making said item. This makes the world of fulfilling these kinds of work orders almost strictly for add-on users, or otherwise just very hardcore and savvy crafters who are looking to do a lot of work as long as it's profitable. The impressions I have for the profession revamps are largely pretty positive. I like the idea of specializations as a way to differentiate players versus how it was done in Shadowlands and the legendary base pieces. Now, Shadowlands did very well at this too, this whole celebration of a hardcore crafter. The problem was that upping these legendary ranks meant a massive consumption of reagents just to get that level that you want. If Dragonflight does go the route of daily skill ups and spec points and specializations, we can expect a friendlier economy for materials. According to Ian, over time people will be able to max out their professions fully. I guess that means that players will eventually have multiple specializations once they finish something, and then all of them as they're all filled out. Work orders are effectively like an offline trade chat, and trade chat will only be used for anal jokes and political discourse in the near future. Now this is highly speculative, but work orders, in my opinion, are bound to make the market move much faster overall. Crafters will see the massive work orders, look at trends, and then decide how they want to specialize their profession. Potentially, a crafter can clear out a handful of work orders that trade chat would have taken, days, maybe weeks to do the same. There's still so much that we don't know yet, but I'm eager to know more. This just has me excited to, look forward to what's coming up next. And as I learn it, I will share this knowledge with you, so you can ask your own questions and come to your own conclusions. So I advise you to share any of that in a comment below. Dragonflight development is going to be a pretty long journey, so I hope you drop by every now and then to see how things are going. If you don't mind, like the video, subscribe for more coverage, and I will see you later. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay breezy.